Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And as always, every Wednesday evening, we're going to have Rich Levinsky with us here in just a few minutes, talking about consultants in the workplace and some of the issues that they're faced with, which is likely that most job seekers are faced with those same issues. He's got a real good topic this evening. It's a good one, so you want to stay tuned. Lately, we've been spending 10 seconds being grateful. So think of 3 things today that this evening that you were grateful for today. Go. Grateful for it seemed to be so cool this morning when we got in the car. Geez, fall is just barely here. It's still going to be 100 and some odd degrees, but well, it's hard to be unhappy when you're grateful. That's all there is to it. I want to remind everybody that if you want a free book on how to find a job, all you got to do is write me, Tony@Babich.com, TONY@BABICH.com. Put your name and your address on the email. That'd be nice. I got one the other day with just a person's name. Not good. Can't mail them one of those. Put your name and address on the email and I'll send you a free book. We've been discussing some of the myths of hiring. These are issues that are really myths on the part of hiring authorities that we hear over the years that they're not true, but we hear them all the time for all kinds of reasons, and we're discussing some of those. This evening's myths are, why would someone with an MBA or a PhD or any kind of graduate degree want this job or want to work at this company? A person that with that much education is overqualified. A degree doesn't necessarily make you qualified for anything. There are plenty of dullards with PhDs and plenty of brilliant people with no degrees at all. A degree doesn't necessarily make you qualified or unqualified. It may have something to do with your values, and it may have a lot to do with the way you see the world and the way you may want to get ahead, but it really doesn't have anything to do with being qualified or underqualified. So don't pay any attention to it. We still hear it all the time, but I recommend people with PhDs, especially if they're in the business realm, sometimes in many cases, just take it off your resume. You don't want to frighten people, especially if it's from a prestigious school. There may be some opportunities that you are going to apply for where it might be of value to put it on, but then in many cases, it may be of value to take it off. Another myth, and this is a great one, and it has always been a great one. We have to have a degree. There used to be, well, the NCR Corporation years ago, not only required a degree, but it required a grade point average from certain colleges. And it would send us the grade point average that it wanted from certain schools. And they would not hire, or would they consider, candidates from those colleges if they didn't have grade points that were associated with that particular college or university. And they determined that that's how their people were going to be successful. I know it's ludicrous, but they did it. The only reason people require a degree is because it eliminates the number of people that they have to interview. I know a lot of people say, well, having a degree makes it shows a person's fortitude and determination. And well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Now, there are some, I admit, there are some scientific businesses where a person has to have a degree, scientific endeavors. And in most business situations, I'll be willing to bet you, and you be willing to bet too, that there are some people that are just as good at that job without a degree. It might be nice, and it might be good to say that it's nice if a person has a degree. And a lot of people want people to have degrees because they have them. They figure, well, I got a degree and you got to get one too. Okay, fine. If you want to see it that way, be my guest. But it's a myth as to how successful a person is. I can find plenty of people, and you can name them too, that were tremendously successful that didn't have a degree. So you might want to reconsider that. You might want to think about that. Along with that is no online degrees, only degrees from top tier schools, no foreign universities, etc. Okay, fine. If you want to say that, no online degrees, I guess. Sometimes I know people that have to be more persistent in getting an online degree than they do after getting an on-campus degree. Yeah, okay. If you want to look at it that way, you're perfectly free to do it that way, but it's a myth as to whether or not a person's successful or not successful because they have a degree or they don't have a degree from an online organization. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashar with the Job Search Solution.